Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going over my top 10 games coming out at the end of 2020/2021, if there's any games coming out in 2021. Just for the record, this is my opinion. If you disagree with these games, then make sure to put your top 10 in the comments below. But enough talking, let's get into the number 10. At number 10 we have FIFA 21. Now this may make a few people mad, but hear me out. FIFA 20 was horrible, worst FIFA yet in my opinion. But this year they may have added new features that could make the game what it was before. For example, the new agile dribbling, letting you use fast footwork to easily get past defenders and keepers. Closer control with the ball, and even new skill moves like the ball roll fake. They also have creative runs, where the AI, you can now press a button and the AI will make a run for you, instead of last year they didn't do it. Natural collisions and even more, not to mention that they're also bringing Volta back, which personally I really like and is probably my favourite thing. And even customizable field lines, but that doesn't really matter. I hope this year's FIFA lives up to its potential, and that's why FIFA 21 gets my number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9, we have Avowed. Now, Avowed is a game made by Obsidian and is a first-person fantasy Skyrim-esque feel. I put it at number 9 because if the game will turn out anything similar to Skyrim, then I'll be happy. From the looks of it, apparently it's supposed to be better, but don't quote me on that, because Skyrim's my favourite game ever. Also, the trailer doesn't really give us much, so we don't really know how the game's going to turn out. Avowed is also set in the same world as another Obsidian games, or Obsidian games, Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, which was a top-down isometric RPG game. And basically what we're going to see in the new game Avowed is Pillars of Eternity, but from a first-person perspective, which will be cool actually to see how they pull it off. If they manage to do it, then I'll be very impressed, and that's why it gets my number 9 spot. Now, our number 8 spot, I have The Medium. Now, The Medium is a psychological horror game developed by Blooper Team, played in third person as a character called Marion, a medium who can travel into the spirit realm, being able to use both world puzzle solving. Her psychic abilities may be used against hostile forces and are recharged by interacting with energy spots called spirit wells. Now, there's bare minimum text regarding the storyline to this game, but what I've kind of picked up on is a girl dies by the lake, causing something to happen. Maybe the main character's investigating her death, but I don't really know, with the lack of information we have. With the puzzle aspect, it's like Portal. One realm does something, and another thing opens up on the opposite side to the spirit realm. But with the minimum facts we know, this game does look appealing and gives Silent Hill vibes, so that's why it gets my number 8 spot. Number 7, we have SpiderMan Mars Morales. Now, this game will not be a sequel or expansion, but will be a separate standoff game like Uncharted Lost Legacy. This game will be in the perspective of Mars Morales and will probably be an open world game like Spider-Man for the PS4. Mars will have not only his superhuman agility, unmatched senses, the ability to climb walls, and web shooting powers, he may also have invisibility and electrokinetic blast, which could be what we saw in the trailer. It will be released in the late 2020, and Miles Morales will take place a year after the original game, Spider-Man, and it will open up during the winter time. A war between an energy corporation and a criminal enterprise has broken out in Miles' hometown of Harlem is the gist of the storyline. Overall, I think this game will be as good, if not better than Spider-Man, and that's why it gets my number 7 spot. At number 6, we have Project Athia. Now, I'm excited for this game because not only is it an open world game, it has aspects of parkour, battling, and magic. Takeshi Aramaki, the head of Luminous Games, states that players can look forward to being transported to a vast and detailed world filled with beauty and dismay. Project Athia will take you on a thrilling otherworldly adventure. It is going to be action-packed and at times twisted, tempestuous, and forbidden. It is a journey that we want to feel as much yours as it is our protagonist. This game will probably be released early 2021 to late 2021 as it's a brand new IP. This game will be PlayStation and PC only, and I'm looking forward to it, and that's why it gets the number 6 spot. At number 5, we have Stalker 2. Now, Stalker is a unique blend of FPS, immersive sim, and horror with a really thick atmosphere. They state that it will be one of the biggest open world games on the market, which is which is a big accomplishment. I think the biggest one right now is Red Dead 2, and that game was beautiful. The game is about surviving under the conditions of Chernobyl with the radiation and mutations around you, and that's the horror part of it. I'm really excited for this because it is different than normal open world games. It has an eerie horror feel, making you cautious wherever you go. Not to mention, from the trailer, the game looks beautiful, and also the choices you make will also affect the story, not just short term, but globally. So what it is it's an open world horror game, and it's a choice game, so it's two mixed into one, which is my favorite two type of games, so that's perfect. The release date is unknown, but I'm still hyped for this horror RPG to come. At number 4, we have a very big favourite of mine, Fable 4, or just Fable. I'm not really sure what they're going to call it yet. I'm super hyped for this game. I can't wait for it to come out, because if you don't know, Fable is a trilogy of games made by Playground Games. And if you don't know about Fable, it's basically about, on his sister's birthday, a young boy's village of Oakdale was raided by bandits, killing the boy's entire family except for his sister. An old hero, Maze, rescues the boy, seeing great potential in him. He trains the boy to become a hero at the Heroes Guild, and you go on to adventure, looting and doing missions until the hero arrives too late to save his mother from being sacrificed. He finds out his mother didn't die, they sacrificed him to retrieve the sword. But nevertheless, the main character defeats Jack of Blades, which is the main character, or the enemy. After defeating him, the hero must choose whether to keep the power that Jack sought by killing his sister to keep the sword, or cast it away into a portal created by Jack of Blades' death to kill him. Depending on the hero's alignment and the player's choice of using or destroying the sword, there are a total of 6 different endings, and that's only the first game. 500 years later, Fable 2 is introduced, and then 3, but we won't go into that, or this video is going to be like half an hour long. The new game will have features such as first and third person perspective, guns are gone, it's possible to ignore the main quest, players can build towns, there will be a multiplayer component, it's built in the Unreal Engine, and time travel and interplanetary travel will feature as well. I'm really looking forward to it, and that's why it gets my number 4 spot. Number 3, we have Cyberpunk 77. Now, Cyberpunk is an open world action adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is the key to immortality. You can customize your character's cyberware, skill set, and playstyle, and explore a vast city where the choices you make shape the story and a world around you. Cyberpunk, you can become a cyberpunk, an urban mercenary equipped with cybernetic enhancement, and build your legend on the streets of Night City. Use a variety of upgradable weapons, hacking skills, and body enhancing implants to become the best hired gun in town. Take down everyone from corporate security and the police to gangs and other mercenaries in order to gain the street cred needed to access better jobs. You can spend your hard-earned money on weapons and cyberware, or have fun buying cars, motorcycles, and outrageous clothing. Journey through a city that's larger than life, explore gang-ridden war zones, trade in its bustling downtown, and raid corporate havens. Make deals with sleazy fixers, desperate celebrities, and renegade artificial intelligences, all fighting tooth and nail to make it in the big city. Make choices in your journey and watch the story change based on your actions, and even more. This game will be one of the best games to come out, and that's why it gets my number 3. At number 2, we have Watch Dogs Legion. Now, there's a lot to go through, so I'm going to go through quickly. Watch Dogs Legion is an upcoming action-adventure game developed by Ubisoft Toronto and published by Ubisoft. As a third installment in the Watch Dogs series, it is the sequel to Watch Dogs 2. The game is set within a fictionalized representation of London, designed as an open world, and is playable from a third-person perspective. It features the ability to control multiple characters that can be recruited across the game's setting and who can be permanently lost during the course of the playthrough. The game will also feature a cooperative multiplayer that will allow up to 4 players to work together. The player will have the ability to navigate the city either by foot, using vehicles, or fast traveling via the city's underground stations, and can freely undertake missions at any time, partake in side activities, or explore every inch of the setting for secrets. Legion features the ability to control multiple characters within the game's setting who can be recruited by the hacker group Dissect, or DedSec. Each playable character that the player can have in their roster is recruited by finding them around the game's players may have to assist in protecting the character being hunted down for trying to shut for trying to shut down a criminal operation. Completing such missions is not the only criteria for adding them to the player's roster. Their standing with DedSec is also factored in. A character who the hacker group helps out will be in favour of aiding them when completing their recruitment mission, whereas a character whose family member was accidentally killed by DedSec member will not tolerate the group and likely refuse to join. Each can permanently be lost, like I said, during the course of the playthrough. The storyline is as follows. In 2019, 3 years after the events of Watch Dogs 2, the acceleration in the development of automation and artificial intelligence greatly impacts the economy of Britain. 3 years after the events of Watch Dogs 2, Zero Day, which is a hacker group, are plotting to destroy the Houses of Parliament with explosive, and carries on so and so. You can find it in the Watch Dogs Legion website, I'll put that in the description. I'm definitely getting this game, 100%, and that is why it gets my number 2 spot. And at number 1, the best game coming out of 2020 in my opinion is Tell Me Why. Now, Tell Me Why is an upcoming adventure game from Dotnod Entertainment. The game is centered on 2 twins, Allison and Tyler, who travel to their childhood home in Alaska and must come to terms with events from their childhood, particularly for Tyler as he has transitioned to male since then. The story involves how their childhood situation influenced Tyler's development and effects on their mother in the game. The players will revisit parts of the old home with both of the twins and experience separate visions and memories of what has transpired, with each twin having different recollections of what happened. The player will make decisions for the pair based on which version of the past events to believe, which will impact the game's outcomes. Dotnod stated that Tyler is the first transgender playable character from any major studio, and they have worked with GLAD to make him an authentic representation of the trans experience. So Tell Me Why is going to be a story game, and it's going to be like The Walking Dead, very big similarities to Life is Strange and any Telltale game really. And I know Cyberpunk and Watch Dogs have a lot more in them than Tell Me Why, but you know, I really like story games, and it's gonna be fun to play a new one now that they bring it out. So that is why it gets my number 1 spot. And that is my top 10 games coming out at the end of 2020/2021. I hope you enjoyed. As I said in the intro, if your list is different, then make sure to put it down in the description below. And actually, I'm pretty sure they've just released Tell Me Why for Game Pass, so I'm gonna go play that. See ya.
Curious butterflies.
You mean bread and butterflies?
Oh yes, of course.